we have a guest named Andy Gill, but instead of being a guest musician, Andy is going to be a guest producer. We're going to be taking one of my songs called City Heartbeat. Andy is visiting from the UK, and he is going to be helping me produce my song. It's going to be a great experience for me because I get to be on the other side of the experience, and I think it'll be a great learning experience for me to know how it feels to be in that chair. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to how the song turns out. There we go. Hopefully this works out. Okay. So what's your name?
My name's Andy.
Andy?
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Andy Gill. So I grew up in the UK, just outside London, which is fairly close to where I live now. Yeah. Dad was a doctor. I've got an older sister who lives in Canada with her husband, who I'm here visiting, and a younger brother who lives in the UK. Well, I love learning things, anything new. But I can remember wanting to learn to play the piano because we had a friend that came round and used to just come and play our piano, and I used to always corner him as soon as he came in the door, make him sit down and just get him to play stuff. So yeah, that was the inspiration for me wanting to learn piano, which I did. I started when I was 6. I guess carried on learning, went to music college, studied composition and piano at music college. But that didn't work out. I didn't really like music college, so I left. I went to do computers, and then ended up making computer games for a living. My brother and sister both learned as well, and my mum says that she had to coax them to practice, but she never had to remind me to practice or anything, because I just love playing. I'd like to get back into doing more classical stuff, so I'd like to improve my orchestration.
Would you do it? Would you just want to do it for fun, or would you want to do it like movie scores? Or
I don't think I'd enjoy writing music for someone else. I haven't done in the past because I don't feel like I'm in control of the art. It's like being asked to do something creative, but then having somebody else be the arbiter of whether it's right or not. I don't find that satisfying, sort of artistically, because you put so much into it. You create something that you're really happy with. You think this is a really wonderful piece of music in the case of writing music, but it could be any kind of art form. And then to have someone else come along and say, "Can you change it?" Then you've got to take something that you're happy with and change it into something that something else, basically. And I often find you end up that you're happier with the version that you created, because that's come purely from your own artistic vision.
Okay, what about if the tables were turned? What if it's you? Because this is what you're doing today, right?
So if I'm in control. You're
in control. How do you feel about that?
That has its own sets of because you're not dealing. The raw material isn't yours then, and so there's only so much you can, well, depending on who you're working with and what your relationship with that person is. I think the key is understanding what the artist is trying to create, and not trying to, not viewing it as my own piece of art, but viewing it as their art that I'm helping them to draw out, and just helping them to craft a little clearer, maybe. So it's not something I'd want to kind of stamp my own artistic sound on necessarily. I think it depends on who you're working with. I think it could be very satisfying if the collaborators are coming in with great stuff, and then you get to bounce ideas off each other, and you get to create something that neither of you could come up with by yourselves. Then it's exciting. I think it can be difficult because people become attached to what they've created, and they don't necessarily want. I don't necessarily want to change things that I've created if I think, no, I did that for a specific reason and I like it like that. That can cause tension sometimes if I was to feel that there was an issue with some part of the music that was causing a musical problem, but the collaborator was adamant that that was how they wanted it, then I don't know, maybe you have to come up with different solutions, but it's, yeah. I find it quite draining writing music a lot of the time. I don't like to do it like too late at night because I just get too tired and frustrated and nothing seems to work. But once it's done, I love having done it. It's a special feeling listening to something you've created, I think. For me, the part I find easiest is starting new pieces, just coming up with ideas and like having possibilities and jamming new phrases and melodies, and those things all come quite easily. But then the difficulty is when you get down to the nuts and bolts of how do I take this little idea that I've had that's 2 bars long and build that into something that's 4 minutes or 10 minutes or however long you want the piece to be. And there's always a part right in the middle of creation, and it happens to me particularly in music, but I think it happens in other arts as well, where at the start everything is just full of possibilities. Like you could do anything with this, you could take it here, you could take it there and everything, and you've got all these ideas and it's going around in your head and it sounds amazing in your head. And then you start to get it down and it starts to become more concrete, and you have to choose between those possibilities and pick a definite one. Am I going to go this way or this way? And you have to pick this one or that one, but you can't have both. And once you start to make it more concrete, and those possibilities start to become less, then there often comes a point at this point in the creation process where you listen back to it and it's not what you originally had going around your head because it's not finished yet, and it hasn't got all those endless possibilities anymore because you started to put concrete things in, and it's as if the art is fighting back and it's trying not to be created, and that's the hardest part for me. Yeah, I don't like to listen back to my music if there's things in it that I think I could have done better, certainly. So I like to get things right, but I don't like to not finish something because it's not perfect. I think it's better to finish something and have imperfections remain, and then you learn to live with the imperfections and it becomes part of it in time, and it's just how it is. But you listen back and you can tell that it doesn't sound as you'd envisioned it, and something's not working, and you don't know what it is. It could be the structure isn't working, it could be the instrumentation's not working, it could be that the performance just didn't have enough liveliness to it. It could be anything, and then that's the point where you've got to take something that is not sounding good enough and figure out why. Yeah, sometimes you come back to it a year later or however long later and you listen back and you go, that was a really good beginning, or if only I'd finished that. Sometimes I do finish them even a long time later, and that feels good. Sometimes that's the best way to deal with it, is just to put it down for a while, and you come back and you've got fresh ears and you can listen to it again and you go, I know exactly what it was that's the problem, I can go straight in and fix it, and then it flows much easier. It's just experience, listening to things and going, okay, I've come across this problem before, and I remember what the solution was. Or sometimes you just need to go away and listen to something else, just immerse yourself in somebody else's music, and then suddenly that'll spark an idea in your own. And yeah, that's a great way to learn. I think listening to as wide a variety of music is is amazingly important, because you never know what influences you well, you don't know what you're missing until you've heard it, and being able to draw on influences from all over the place is really valuable, just for the sake of variety of different sounds and different timbres and all sorts of things you can reference, but you can only reference them if you've heard them and you've remembered them. Sometimes you can listen, you have music on the background, you can think you know it like the back of your hand, but if I said, what was the instrumentation in that song that you love, you might go, wow, there's a guitar and there's a bass, I can't remember if there's a piano, and I don't know, you might not be able to say. So something that can be really useful to think about music is to take a song that you like and just listen to it very critically all the way through and say, okay, how is it structured? How are they putting it together? What's different between the verse and the chorus? Does the harmony change? Does the instrumentation change? How does it develop over the song? How is the third verse different from the first verse? How do the drums change as the song progresses, and all these sorts of things? What extra instruments are they bringing in to give it colour and little bits of interest throughout? And just literally going through the song like almost bar by bar, and just noting those down and remembering, okay, that's how this song is put together, and do that for as many songs as you can. And very soon you'll have a wide palette of different possible ideas you can bring to new songs of all sorts.
What's your favourite part of composing music?
Listening to it afterwards. Yeah. Yeah.
We live in a city with a heartbeat. It has dark streets, and the people are blind to your heartbreak, your love, and your gravest mistakes. You would lose your way, blinded by that old dream. You watch the stars looking for yours. I couldn't be sure, holding your eyes to the night, but you're only seeing satellites. Oh, the more of the same. You always shoulder the blame. Driven by the heat to the late show, down below where the earth is cold and I call your name. It's the same helpless refrain. You're never there. Hold my breath and I worry. Come and take my soul so I can breathe and not be afraid. It's the way we live. Oh, my friend, we can't go back to then. All those days were really well spent. You watch the stars looking for yours. I couldn't be sure, holding your eyes to the night, but you're only seeing satellites. Oh, they're more of the same. You always shoulder the blame. Just in time and it's all come undone. Isn't that the way? just in time, and it's all come undone. Isn't that the way? One more winter, I'll see it through. I always wanted to be there for you. If you wanted to dance when the moon was full, we need to find some space to be beautiful. Stay till you've had some time to recover. Stay, stop being afraid. You watch the stars looking for yours. You know I couldn't be sure, holding your eyes to the night, but you're only seeing satellites. Oh, they're more of the same. We always shouldered the blame. Wait just a minute when I call your name. Follow my voice through the driving rain. I'm sorry I was careless when I found you out and didn't give you time to live.